everybody, how's it going? Miguel here. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Just getting all set up here, and man, I'm so excited. First of all, let me say, I gotta say a couple things about Chris. Like, first of all, you are so lucky you're a part of Chris's team. I want to say thank you, Chris, as well, if you're watching this, for having me on this call. I'm so appreciative of you and your leadership. Really, over the last couple of years, I remember actually meeting Chris back when I was, I think it was at leadership, one of my first leaderships or whatever, and they did this whole thing where they got all the leaders together, and it was like a big room, and they went around the group, and we played like, I don't remember exactly what the game was, but it was like this thing where they had like, I don't know what it was, but they had like questions on a board, and we went around, and we had to like figure out the right answers, and we had like, we're divided into teams. Anyway, I just remember meeting Chris there, and he was just so helpful. And they got that same leadership. Chris actually was speaking with, I believe it was Cody, and they were speaking together. And I remember I was there with my wife. I was a guest. I was there. My wife was a guest, and we had just had our daughter, and we were sitting there, and she was on the side. And I remember specifically like Chris and Cody up on stage talking about the business. And I remember looking at my wife, I remember saying like, hey, one day maybe that could be us. And we actually haven't had a chance to speak together on stage, but that's always been a goal for us, is to be able to do that. And so I just want to say, like, you guys are so blessed. I'm sure you already know that, that you have such an incredible leader like Chris. I know maybe you get to see him passionately with you guys, but I also get to see him behind the doors when he's on the cab and he's fighting for you guys. And you know, in some cases, like saying, awesome, great job, Beachbody, but in also cases saying, hey, Beachbody, we got to fix some of these things. We got to make some changes. And really, that kind of dives me in. So thanks, Chris, for having me on this call. Thank you guys for listening to me. Hopefully you guys tune into the National Wake Up Call. I'm not going to talk too much about the National Wake Up Call. If you missed it, go listen to that. I give a good overview of kind of our launch strategy for Obsession. And I'm going to talk a little bit more detail. I'm going to give you guys more like the details of all of that, how all that works. And I will kind of give you the overview as well, but I think it's important for you guys to understand that. So that does kind of lead me into Obsession. And one of the things that when I came into this business that I realized was so key and so important is how to launch new programs. And as part of that, on the cab with Chris, we've been talking to Beachbody a lot, obviously, about the ability for us to launch programs again with the network, and so everybody gets excited. And so that really is what Obsession is all about. This is like your opportunity where finally, I believe that we're kind of back to what works really well, what we're all really great at, which is launching new programs and getting people excited about it. Really, I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many reasons. Yes, there will be other launches, but for some of you, maybe they've been around for a little bit longer. And for those that haven't, 21 Day Fix. Like, it was an incredible program. If you were around for that, like, how awesome was 21 Day Fix when it launched? Let me know in the comments if you were around for that. 21 Day Fix was incredible. It changed many of our businesses. Many of us that were there back in the day, like, we had like record volume. We had days where like we were like tripling the volume. Like, it was nuts. People that jumped in on that bandwagon, and it just really got started with 21 Day Fix. It was awesome. It was a game changer because it changed things. It introduced something new. And the containers and having Autumn, a new trainer. And remember, that was her first program. That was her first program she ever did. It was a huge game changer for many of us. That really hasn't happened yet. It's not to say that we haven't released great programs. We have. Like, there's a lot of great programs that have come out since then. Max 30, a whole bunch of other great programs. But there hasn't really been a game changer. And as a marketing person, my background was marketing for 10, 15 years before I came into Beachbody. By fluke, lost 80 pounds doing the programs, loved it. A friend of mine told me to become a Beachbody coach. I told them, you're crazy. I wasn't going to do it. And then luckily I did research and decided to try it anyway. But what I realized was that this business it works so great when you have something new. Like any business, when you have something new, when you have the new iPhone, right? When you have the iPad or the Apple Watch, whenever something new comes in, people jump all over it. And that's when, honestly, like millions and millions are made. And I don't want to talk too much like financially, but understand as well with Beachbody, that is also when we launched 21 Day Fix, yes, volume went up. Yes, income went up. Yes, it was probably one of the best times in the Beachbody network. But understand as well, we probably changed the record number of lives. We probably helped a record number of people get results. We probably helped so many people like in that time that it was unbelievable, undeniable. And I remember many coaches jumped in, but I remember also a lot didn't. And they were like looking back and going like, how did you guys do that? And I'm like, hey, listen, we just jumped on board with this container thing and it was awesome and people love it and it was incredible. That is all to say that with Obsession, I really think if I was a betting person, I would say that this launch will dwarf 21 Day Fix. I really think that Obsession is a game changer that is just going to become a movement. If you listen to the wake up call, I was really passionate because I really believe that Obsession is going to be a movement. It's not going to be a workout program. It's going to be a movement. And I fully believe it's going to take Beachbody to places it's never been because it's something that has never been done before. For even the results, I didn't talk too much about it. They didn't want me to talk too much about it on the wake up call, but I lost over 30 pounds doing the workout. Started July 31st, doing one round of it, and it was just absolutely incredible. And I got to tell you, this is going to get people results, and that's number one. Our number one job is to get people results, right? And if we get people results, they're gonna be a lifer, right? You get someone results, you get them lose 5, 10, 15 pounds. Everything else, all the other problems kind of go away. People are always like, how do I keep, people on Shakeology? How do I keep them renewing their bod? And they come up with how do I follow up? I get lots of questions, right? At the end of the day, if you get people results, they're not gonna leave. They're not gonna go do something else. They're not gonna cancel their Shakeology because they've gotten results and they know that that's a part of it, right? I'm drinking Hydrate right now, because I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but I'm drinking this because I love it. It's not because it's volume or I have to buy it. It's because I love this stuff. I know it's gonna hydrate me, and I'd rather drink this over a Gatorade. And then in about an hour after this call, I have my plan. I'm gonna do my pre-workout, and then I'm gonna, crush another Obsession workout. Which brings me to Obsession, right? Which brings me to what you should do, right, with this program. Because literally, I believe this would be like Apple saying we're going to launch something new, and Steve Jobs getting up on stage and saying, we're launching, I don't know if you saw the launch, but I remember watching it. When he launched the iPhone, he was like, people were like, is it going to be like a new web browser? Is it going to be a cell phone? And he gets up on stage with his phone. And he's like, well, it is a web browser. It allows you to make phone calls. It is all these things. And then he brought out the iPhone and it did everything. And that really is what Obsession is going to be. Understand that it's not just a workout program. It's a movement. What do I mean by that? People are going to start this program on January all together. They're going to do the workouts together. They're going to have 24 hours to do the workout kind of a thing. And the whole week, of course. But they're going to want to keep on track with the workouts. Not only that, but... Carl kind of said some stuff that he probably shouldn't have on a team call that we had, but I'll say it here because you guys are insiders and whatever, and he kind of mentioned them anyway. You're gonna get to know the cast as well. It's not just the workouts. You're gonna be able to go on Beachbody On Demand and see behind the scenes as to what the cast experienced throughout the program. So you're really going to feel like you're a part of the cast. You're really going to feel like you're a part of this movement. And you're going to kind of become addicted. It's almost going to be like you're doing a reality TV show and you're a part of it. And the people that you're watching on set are going to be going through it with you. And that's a big part of it, the fact that it's a movement. The other part that I think you're going to really enjoy is the fact that every workout's different. Even if the following week you got to do the same workout, I can't say the names yet of the programs, but it's not going to be the same one. And Autumn's going to mess up. It's going to say, oh, whoops, I did that one twice. Or, and someone will come on. And because they're literally shooting the program as they go. And they haven't edited it. Well, I'm sure they made minor edits, but they haven't edited it for the most part. So you're going to really feel like you're a part of it. At one point, Autumn's wrists start hurting. And so she's talks about it. And she talks about, modifications she's making live to be able to push through it. At one point, she almost drops the weight. At one point, someone's banned when they're doing one of the exercises breaks. It's really hard to describe until you experience it. But this program, you got to understand, is going to be the program that's going to get you results. It's going to get your customers results, and it's going to be great. So how do we leverage it? What do we do? Here's what I talked about, right? It's a 3-step approach for your coaches, as well as a 3-step approach for your customers, okay? Let's talk about your coaches first of all. One is you have to make sure that you have a group right now. If you don't have one right now, maybe Chris wants to make one, but if he does, then, or maybe you want to make one. However you do it, you need to have a group right now where you have all of your coaches in that group that are going to be all in with Obsession. You have to have that yesterday. So right now, after this call, the first takeaway is make sure you have a holding group for your coaches only that are going to be getting into Obsession. Now, what do you put in that group? Well, in that group, you're going to put stuff like what's coming out, the kits. And you might make your own graphics that you're going to use for your customers. So my wife's been doing some of that, where we have like graphics now what we've created that have the breakdown of like the all-in mega pack and then the basic kit, right? Because again, I'll tell you, I'll lift the kimono a bit. I'll tell you one of the big secrets that I've done with and it's not really a secret, with Beachbody throughout the years, is I never reuse anything they post, right? So if they post a graphic, I'll never post that. I'll always kind of go into PicMonkey or get my wife to do it, and you know, and we'll make a new graphic with the exact same information, but it's branded as us. It's a big thing. Even videos, you know, Kim Carver might do a great training video on something. Well, I'll watch the video and then I'll recreate it. So in this coach group, it's all our own stuff. It's our own thing that we've done, that we've branded ourselves, and I think that's a really big thing. So in this coach group, we have all the prices, the breakdown, the mega pack, the basic kit for existing coaches and customers, and then we have another graphic with the mega pack and the base kit for the new customers. And so that kind of stuff goes in there. You might go live in there, right, in that group, and say, hey, guess what, guys? We're actually, I'm doing this right after this call. I'm going to go live into my obsession group, and I'm going to say, hey, guys, you know, we're basically just a week away. I'm just getting my lists ready of exactly which one of you are actually all in on this incredible program. You know, drop me a heart below if you're all in, and we could do it right now. How many of you? I'm curious, literally, like right now on this call, how many of you by heart are all in on the mega pack? And some of them might say yes, some of them might say no, and I'm going to tell them again. I'm going to retell them. I'm going to say, listen, like when I did the workout, this is no joke. 4 days in, I was getting super sore. 5 days in, I was like, we have to add recover at least, because I can't do the 6th day. I can't. I'm like, I'm dying. I didn't want to do it because I know I was looking at recover and I was like, well, it's got extra stuff in it. And even though Autumn said I built the nutrition plan around using recover, I was like, well, I don't want to use recover because it's got extra calories. I want to get the best results possible because I'm like either all in or all out. And so I wasn't using it. But by the 5th day, I had to add it because like there was no way, because the muscle confusion you experience with obsession is crazy. Like you cannot, I challenge someone to try and do the whole program without using the performance line. I just don't think it's possible for you to go that hard that you're supposed to go every single workout, 45 minutes to an hour. You just have to do it. So that's that. So I'm going to go live in my coach group and remind them of that and tell them that. The other thing I'm going to remind them of is the incredible discount. I'm going to remind them, and this is if you're taking notes, the other thing I'm going to do when I go live, I'm going to remind them and say like, hey, listen, you know, I used to spend $200, $300 every probably 2, 3, 4, 5 months on new programs. You know, P90X3 would come out and I have to buy that program, the deluxe kit, and then another program would come out, I have to buy that kit. Now we're basically, as coaches, we're paying $100 a whole year for all the programs. So you can see it as a positive or a negative. I choose to see it as a huge positive. And this, I think, is a big game changer for you leaders, especially on this call. I choose to see it as a huge positive because the way that I see it is like we have to pay less for the programs, but we can invest more back into our businesses. See, like a good business owner, like the way that you called this group is awesome, Chris. Like if you want to get obsessed about your business, a good business owner doesn't say, how can I save money in my business? A good business owner says, how can I reinvest money that I'm making in this business, reinvest it to grow my business? That is 101 business. Like you make an income with your business. You know, since day one that I started this business, I was putting 50% back into this business. I made $10, I was putting in 5. I'd make 100, I put in 50. I'd make 300, I put in 150. I got to the point in 1 year, I should probably say an income disclaimer, Team Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of success or income from the Team Beachbody coaching opportunity. Each coach's income, that's you, depends on his or her own diligence, effort, and skill. There you go. I said it, so it'd make everybody happy. So after 1 year of reinvesting in myself, after 1 year, we got to 6 figures as a couple, combined income. After 3 years, we got to the Million Club, and it's been going through that. But I think a big reason for that is since day one, we've reinvested half, and sometimes we invest 100% of our paychecks into our business. That is a big key. Now, some of you need to make this mindset shift, especially now that obsession's coming, is like, you know, once I have the income, then I will invest the money. Well, understand that a big kind of mindset shift that a lot of people need to make is that you can't think that way. You have it reversed. It's kind of like saying, once I achieve this, then I'll do that. That never happens in life. That'll never happen. It's not like LeBron James was LeBron James before he practiced. Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan before he failed and didn't make it into football. Oprah Winfrey didn't become Oprah until she failed at broadcasting and was told she couldn't be a broadcaster. It doesn't happen that way. Nelson Mandela went to freaking prison for 29 years. His whole family got murdered all around him, comes out of prison, looks at it as a positive, forgives everyone that put him in prison, ends the apartheid movement, becomes president of the country that put him in prison. That's hard to do. You, sitting on your phone, you know, selling some challenge packs, not so difficult. So in this scenario, what I try and look at is like, awesome. I mean, I'm spending $100 a freaking year now for all the Beachbody programs. It is ridiculous. I can work out anywhere I want to. Now Obsession's coming out. You know, I'm going to reinvest in myself. I'm going to take some of that income that I would have spent buying a program, and instead, I'm going to invest in the nutrition side. I'm going to invest in the recovery. I'm going to invest in the pre-workout that maybe that I don't have enough of. Whatever it is, I'm going to reinvest back into it. And that's why it's so key for you to get the mega pack. So that's the second thing I was going to say. The third thing I'll say is when your coaches and yourself obviously get that mega pack and it shows up at your door, you're going to be able to take a really awesome social media photo for your Facebook business page. You'll be able to make a great Facebook business story as you're walking in the mailbox. Oh my gosh, it's here. Want to see me open it up? You open it up. People love like when people open stuff, right? You can do the same thing on Insta stories. You can show all that stuff. And then you can post that photo to your Instagram account. And you can say on your stories, you can say, hey, if you want to get more details on what's in this box, go to my Instagram. And you can do all, there's so many things you can do. But again, you can't really do that if you don't get the mega pack, because then you're going to be like taking a photo of like bod and be like, hey, look, here's Obsession. Right? Like it doesn't work that way. And even if you're like, well, that's all I'm going to have, then great. Like I said, shift your mindset, because what's going to happen is all those customers that are out there that want to get started, right? If they don't see you going all in, why would they go all in? Have you ever had a customer that did more than you? Have you ever had a coach that does more than you? It never happens. You have to do more so that you attract people that want to do more. And so that's why the mega pack is so key. So I'm going to go live in my coaching group with the Obsession coaches. And that's the kind of stuff I'm posting every single day, is I'm talking to them about the truth about business, exactly what, in a lot of ways, what Chris is doing with this group, so that we really kind of, unveil the inner workings of what it takes to be a 6- and 7-figure earner, if that's where you want to go. And if it's not, maybe some of you just want to make an extra couple $100. It doesn't really matter, but wherever you want to be is what you have to invest in your business, really shifting around that mindset. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's kind of the first part of it. With your coaches, you have to have that coaching group, and however you do it, you got to fire them up and make sure that they get started with the mega pack coming out next week. Make sure they understand that it's really a really good deal, because they haven't been buying programs all year. Like, ask them, when's the last time you bought a program? Well, I paid $100, $99 back in January last year. Great. So it's time to do this. Let's do this and let's get started. And people are really fired up about it. The fourth thing I will say, and this will close out the coaching and then I'll talk about customers, is understand that if they get started with that mega pack, they're going to be in the once in a lifetime, really, a group with Autumn Calabrese. That's basically, she's going to run just like a test group. There's many coaches that have begged to be in test groups. I would have begged to be in the Obsession group. Thank goodness I was in it. And it was awesome. But this is the one time where you literally have the opportunity to be in a test group with Autumn. And like, she is awesome. Like she goes live, and you can tell your coaches this, like she goes live in the test groups, right? It's amazing. She talks about things. She goes live in the car. She gives ideas, suggestions. When people comment, she responds to them. And having that whole experience in a group of a couple thousand maybe that's going to be in there, because it's only coaches, is going to be unreal. It's going to be phenomenal. It's almost like the reason I got great results with this program, yes, the program was great, but it was also because I had Autumn there, and I took it as like, okay, I'm going to what would it cost me to fly to LA every single day and get private training from Autumn? Like a fortune, even just her time, a fortune probably per hour. I don't even know what she would charge if she was still doing that. So here I have the opportunity to spend, I don't know, in Canada it's $250. It's probably less in the US to get this mega pack, and I'm going to get training from Autumn for 3 months. Like literally, that's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's absolutely insanity. And so you're going to get that with the Obsession mega pack. And let's slides, all that stuff. So that'll be huge. So make sure your coaches, obviously I know you guys are leaders. You understand all this. Just make sure that what you understand, what you know, what you're internalizing right now, and maybe there's a couple extra little nuggets. Maybe you knew it all. Maybe there's a couple nuggets you pulled from this. Hopefully you did. That your team knows, okay? Because that's a big thing. As I've grown leaders, I've really focused on them understanding that what they know is not what their team knows. And what that passion, that fire is that you have inside you, your team, you would think they know that, but they don't know that. You would think that they know that they need to invest in their health and their fitness because that's all they have, but they might not know that. You would think they know that they have to invest just half of whatever they're bringing in, but most people don't know that. Most people just, I had a coach the other day that doesn't listen, and she's making like $400 a week now, and she's like, oh, I don't have any money to run like a Facebook ad right now. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you're making $400 a week? Like, some people would love to be making that. Like, And you know what happens is as people start making money, right, they start like spending it, right? Or they start like living off of it fully and then not reinvesting it. And sometimes that happens. And understand in business, if you want to go all in and get obsessed with your business, you got to understand, you got to reinvest in yourself. So it's a very small investment to get started with obsession and get your coaches started. That's step one. Because what that'll do, now you've got your coaches and they're going to be fired up. Okay, you got them in a coach group, you got them all excited. They're going to be fired up to take action, get results. And at the end of the day, this whole business is about before and afters. It really is, okay? The 3 times in this business where I've gotten my best results is the 3 times that I had the best explosion after ever. And it wasn't just because of the program, it was because of the results that I had. Instead of posting other people's results, I had my results to post. I'm sure you've done it. I'm sure you've taken other people's before and afters, and that's great. And you can take mine, you can take anyone's that you want, and you're going to get some comments. But the moment that you post your before and year after, everything changes. Like everyone reaches out, congratulates you. It becomes real. It becomes this incredible thing where it's just like, holy moly, like how did you do that? I need that all in. I know you. I know you've been slacking for a year or two and like now you did it and that's amazing. I'm all in on this program. And so that's really important. So the reason I'm saying that is it's not like, don't just wait for obsession. Like make sure you're doing stuff now so that you're really ready to go, because it's not an easy program. Understand, it is not an easy program. It is one that you will struggle with for the first few weeks, but you will get through. You will make it happen. And no matter what state you're in, you can do it, but you do really need the recovery and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that works for you. So let's talk a little bit about customers. Okay. Customers is the next part. And then I'm going to end it there. Customers is a huge part. Now that you got your coaches fired up, they're going to get results, they're going to get everything, and that is the key. They're going to be all in, they're going to be excited, they're going to be talking about it. When they post the photos of the mega pack showing up, they go live on the stories, people will be reaching out to them. So you as a leader have to help them and make sure that they get those people in a customer group that you create, very similar, a customer holding group for all people that are going to get excited with obsession. Now, how do you get people in my group? There's a number of ways that you can do it. One of the easiest ways is your existing customer base. This is the perfect program for you to go to your existing customer base and tell them, and I like to do it with voice message. I know I like to talk. And understand, by the way, I'm a complete introvert, okay? Like usually if I talk for more than an hour, I'm like napping till like the next day because I get exhausted. But understand, which is I think why I got sick. I did the wake up call and I was super stressed about it. And people are like, oh, you must love to talk. I'm like, not really. I just know that it works really well. It gets people fired up. I can connect with them. But at the end of the day, I'm exhausted afterwards. And so here's the thing. When you send someone a voice message, it is a game changer, okay? Many people, I'll give them a list of things to do. And this is what most people do. Correct me if I'm wrong. Give me a laughy face if you understand what I'm saying. If you give someone 10 things to do, they'll always like do 8 and not do 2, right? And the 2 they don't do are the ones that really push them, their boundaries, right? Like, okay, those 2, I did everything. I did all the 8, but I didn't do those 2 because those ones are just a little bit harder for me. Chances are, if you've got those things in your business, maybe Chris has told you do these things, you know, and you're not getting the results, chances are you're actually you're doing all but 1 or 2 that scare you. And you got to flip that. You got to do the hard things first, and then everything else becomes way easier. Just a quick little story, because I like to tell stories, and I'll come back, I promise. Our hot tub, bro, we had a hot tub, a swim spa, and our swim spa portion, that's a big part of it, the heater stopped working the other day. And long story short, I called the place that has the warranty with it, and they're like, we can't be there till Thursday, which wouldn't be a problem if I lived in Texas. Unfortunately, I live in Canada, and it is minus 25 outside right now. So think about water sitting in a pool at minus 25. It ain't gonna last too long, and the piping underneath is gonna burst pretty fast. So they're not gonna be here till Thursday, and this is on Monday. So I called them up, I'm like, yeah, they're not coming, nothing I can do. They're just not coming till Thursday. So anyway, so what I do is they basically tell me like I got to install this like a heater thing inside of the thing and all this stuff. Anyway, I don't know how to do it. I look it up online, and here's the approach that I took with that, okay? Step 1, I found someone that had already that knows how to do this, right? So a buddy of mine, I called him, I'm like, hey, listen, my $100,000 swim spa is about to blow up because no one's going to help me with it. Even though I bought the warranty, how happy are people to help you once you've bought the warranty? Not very, because they don't actually follow through on warranties. Anyway, forget it. Long story short. My buddy shows up. He tells me what to do. He's like, here's the 5 things that we're going to have to do. And I'm like, and the first thing I say to him, I'm like, which one's the hardest thing? Well, that's the hardest thing. If we can't do that, then everything else. I'm like, great, so let's start with the hardest thing. So we started with the hardest thing, and then everything else became easier. what I just told you really quickly is the key to life. Find someone that's getting the results that you want, right? Have them help you, like Chris or myself. Then pick the hardest thing. That's going to be the hardest thing to do. In this case, it was getting this deck that was mounted to the side of the thing actually off. Once we got that off, we know we could do everything else. So we got that off. And in that, by the way, I got injured. I actually ended up in the chiropractor last night. last minute because I hurt my back. Went to the chiropractor, got all that fixed up. But my lesson to you is this, like, just follow, like, this will, forget Beachbody, this is like a poof moment. The way you get results in anything in life is find someone that's been where you want to be, listen to their what they tell you, and do the hardest thing first. That's a big key. Do the hardest thing first. So, voice messaging. That works the best, okay? We've gotten great results with it. I can tell you, my coaches that do it get great results because people are bored of text messages. Everyone is friggin' texting, everyone is messaging, everyone is copying, pasting. So when you send one of your customers, so you go to the back office, you download the list. That's what I talked about in the wake-up call. You can hear all the strategy. But I really briefly talked about voice messaging. It's so key because when you voice message someone, it like interrupts their brain patterns. They're expecting to see they got a message from someone and it's text, and they go in there and they got a voice message with a little play button, okay? They're gonna hit play. They will, okay? And understand the first few that you send are probably gonna be terrible. That's fine, that's how we learn. Michael Jordan didn't sink a three-pointer on day one. He missed a lot of shots. He missed a lot, right? So you're not gonna nail every single jumper, but you're going to send a message. You're going to take action. You're going to put something into motion, right? And sending that voice message, and however it is, in your own words, right? It's like, you know, hey, Tammy, how's it going? Miguel here. Just want to reach out to you real quick. I know you were in my group, 2 years ago, and I feel really bad. Maybe it was something I did, but didn't get you the results that I know that I promised you and that I know that you wanted. But part of it, I think, isn't on you. I think part of it is on me, but part of it, I think, is the program that we picked for you. And there's this incredible program coming out in January that's a live workout. Beachbody's never done it. It's going to be totally live. I think you'd love it. I don't want to waste your time, but if you're interested, send me a message back on text. We can set up a time to chat about it on the phone. Okay, that's it. I send like 150 of those messages in an hour. Like, just messages like that. The faster you go, like, you just start sending messages. It doesn't take long. Now, most of you are saying, cool, great strategy, I'm not doing it. And what I'll tell you is I've gotten great results with this. Why would you not do the thing that I'm telling you is going to work for you? So you do this, and you're going to get people in that group like crazy. People will reach out to you. They will say, you know what? I'm in. I'll do it. Meanwhile, everyone else out there that's not listening to what I'm saying, they're going to go and send text messages. They're not going to get as many people. They're going to send 20 texts. They're going to get 2 responses. Like, why do, like, the definition of doing the same thing that wasn't working and doing it again and again and then listening to advice and then not implementing it, that is insanity, right? It's like looking for self-help all the time and then never implementing. I find, like, in this business, I got a really rare view. I get to see lots of people, like, that succeed, and I get to see a lot more that don't succeed. And I look at it and I'm like, the ones that succeed most of the time that are here, honestly, are no smarter, if not way less smart than the ones that are here. And I'm like, why does this happen time and time and time again? It's funny, with placement strategy, with Beachbody, it's always like, okay, well, you want to place rock stars here, the other one. Like, I don't even know anymore, because it's like the ones that I think will be rock stars don't do it, and the ones that I think shouldn't be don't do it. I got one thing we do with challenge groups now is we run 2 challenge groups. We have one challenge group that's awesome and we pour everything into it. Those are people that are on, that when this program comes out, they'll be on the performance line. Right now, they're on Shakeology, they're on all our stuff. We pour into them. And we've got another challenge group that's for people that don't want to do that stuff. And they're still good groups, but, we got 2 groups. Every time, the ones that are all in, they get the great results. The ones that aren't, they don't. Another funny thing that happens is we'll tell them up front, like, which groups you want to be in. If you're in this group, you've got to be all in. A lot of the ones that are the overachievers, they hold their standards so high that they'll say, you know what, put me in the other group because I don't think I'll be able to stick with it every single day like you want me to. And then we have to message them a week later saying, hey, I know you're in this group that is like it's actually really the least, not the best group. We want to put you in the best group because actually you are doing more than everyone else. So we move them over. So I'm telling you, I'm spending a lot of time on this because I know how your minds work. I know that I'm telling you to do a voice message. Most of you won't do it. One or two of you will try it. One of you will send one or two and never do it again because it didn't work out for the one or two people. And then one of you will do it no matter what, and then it's going to have great results for you. And so I'm just challenging you. Send the voice message, and if you want, even get them on the phone, because that's going to make them a lifer. Because it's not about, understand that this whole business, once you make, people say, like, how do you get Success Club 50, 100, like these crazy numbers? You know what it is? It's about not worrying about how much something costs. It's not about worrying what's included in the kit. It's not about worrying about any of that stuff. What it is making a really good connection with someone quickly, spending less time. Like, people think, well, it'd be way more time to get someone on the phone. Not really. If you don't get someone on the phone and you're texting with them back and forth, it's going to take you 15 to 20 interactions back and forth just to get them to do something. But if you get them on a voice message that literally takes 20, 30 seconds to send, and then you send them another 5, 10, 20, and then all of a sudden that one from before messages you back and says, yeah, I love talking about it more. And let's say you did it on the phone. This is like for the overachievers. And then you say, sure, I'll call you right now. Great, sounds good. You get them on the phone. On the phone, they're going to tell you everything. They'll be like, hey, how's it going? Oh, great, good. Yeah, tell me more about it. And then I just tell them, hey, well, why don't you tell me more about you? And like, what you want to do? Oh, yeah, great. Here's the thing. Here's that. Here's that. You make that connection with them. Like if I didn't know Chris, right? If I didn't know Chris and I was texting with him over Messenger and I didn't know him from a fly on the wall, and he's telling me to spend $250 on Obsession, I'd be like, who is this crazy guy? I'm not doing it. But if Chris sends me a voice message and goes, hey, Miguel, I know that you got PNEX like 4 years ago. You never got those results. I know you've probably been following my journey on Facebook. It's been really cool. But I want you to know about this program that's coming out. It's a live program with Beachbody. It's going to change everything. I think you'd actually really love it. And I'd love to support you in it. Go all in with it. If it's something you're interested in, just send me a message. We can set up time to chat. I get that voice message from Chris Reed. I go to his Facebook. I'm like, of course, he's posting good stuff. I'm like, wow, like Chris Reed sent me a voice message? That's awesome. I message him back. I'm like, yeah, sure, Chris. Let's, when you got some time. Why don't I call you right now? Sure. Get on the phone with Chris. Chris's personality comes through. I talk to Chris. We talk about stuff, life. I get excited, fired up. So you want to get started? Yeah, man, I'm in. If all that happened over texting, I'm telling you, you could have 20 text conversations and have 2 people reach out, or you could have 20 voice messages, 10 phone calls, sell 5 challenge packs. Like, it's up to you. You're going to get better at it if you're just starting. You're not going to be great at it yet, but you're going to get better and better and better, and you can't beat that. You cannot beat that. That's how, if you're, this is really lifting the kimono. If you're wondering how, for some reason it seems a lot of the Canadian teams seem to win the Beachbody Cup all the time, it's because we're doing it this way. We're sending voice messages, we're doing phone calls, we're not doing the texting and all that kind of stuff, which I think a lot of other coaches do. And so that's just it, guys. I told Chris, if you let me in on this call, I'm going to tell them exactly what I'm doing, no less, no more, and so that you guys get all the goods. So with the customers, get them on, get them going, get them in a coach, get them in a group that you have them, and then also use the form. Beachbody's created a form where you can put their email address, which pack they're going to get that all figured out, so that it comes on launch day, which is coming up soon. I think we're like 10 days away. You know exactly, I think it's less now, you know exactly which kit they're going to get, and then on launch day, the night before, you message them all, you post on your Facebook group, you say, hey, tomorrow morning, I'm going to put the link right here so you can get it, you can get started, and over the next few days, you make sure they're assigned to you, that you're their coach, you go through all that kind of good stuff, and then once all that's done, then come launch day, you basically just post on your group, and then you private message all of them, and then you it's up to you, all the work happens now. Understand that if you want to, change a record number of lives, help 5, 10 people get started with Obsession, it's right now. It's not like next week, when it's all up and all of Beachbody and the 350,000 coaches are copying and pasting, the Beachbody graphics everywhere and everyone knows that it's launched. Everyone's talking about it. That's like the time it's over at that point, right? Not that it's over, you can still do stuff, but right now is the easiest. I don't know if you ever read the book, Blue Ocean, Red Ocean Strategy. It's a great book if you want to read it, if you like that kind of stuff. It's awesome. It basically talks about finding the blue ocean, finding the ocean where the fish aren't dead yet, right? And so guess what? Come launch day, once this thing's launched, it's red ocean, right? It's like everyone is in there fighting tooth and nail to get those customers. Right now, it's blue ocean. There's very little people talking about Obsession right now. And you could be one of those people. And we've given you those tips and strategies that I think will help you along the way. If you guys have any questions, you can do them right now. I'll answer them real quick if you have any questions at all. feel free. Also, make sure that in here, you put a hashtag live if you were live, and put a hashtag recording if you were watching the recording. That'll help Chris later on understand how many people were actually live watching this video and how many actually watched the recording. The date, is it the 16th? I don't know the exact date off the top of my head. I kind of lose track once I'm live of like dates. I'm just like so focused on stuff, but it is next week. You sent 11 voice messages. That's awesome. You could totally make it happen. Yeah, like do it a power hour. Like just send voice messages. The other thing I'll do sometimes is on texting. I'll text people. I'll just like text. Like if you went into your phone right now, I would challenge you. I did this with my team once. We did a team call, and I said, bring your phones. We're gonna do something interactive. And I gave them 10 minutes. I said, okay, over the next 10 minutes, I want you to go into your phone and text message as many people as you possibly can over the next 10 minutes. And they're like, with what? I'm like, just like, hey, how are you? And try and set up either a phone call or a meeting to talk about their health and fitness. That's it. They're like, well, what about Beachbody? I'm like, no. Like, we're health and fitness people. We try and get people to get healthy. So all you want to do is send them a text message and try. So then they did this. Most of them sent out like 50, 100 text messages within like 10 minutes. And it's just like, hey, how are you? Cool. Hey, I was wondering if you had some time to either chat on the phone or in person about your health and fitness. I know we were talking about it before. We'd love to talk about it more. People respond. Like, everybody, understand this. Okay, this is a big thing. Everybody wants to get healthy. They just don't know how to do it. And almost bigger, I would say they don't have someone pushing them to do it. Because the reality is there could be a gym in every corner, right? There really could be. And if no one is there to motivate them and to push them to actually get into the gym and do the workout, it's never going to happen. And that's why I think coaching is so incredible. I love gyms. I go to the gym. I love everything. I don't have a problem with running or any of that stuff. I do all that stuff. But I think Beachbody has a solution where it comes to like motivating someone to actually take action. Like what other business do you have where you literally get to like get paid to get someone to push play? Because understand this is a key point that shifted a lot of things early on. I was talking to Scotty Hobbs and he taught me this. Is like, we don't sell challenge packs. He told me, we don't sell challenge packs. We don't sell workouts. We get people results. And I think he learned that because before he became a coach, he actually didn't want to become a coach. So he was running free groups and helping people get results. And so that always stuck with me. It's not about the success skill points. It's not about, selling the challenge pack. It's about getting them results. Because otherwise they'll just return it. And then you're going to be on this hamster wheel. And who wants to run on that, right? It's all about getting people results. And that's why I think Obsession is going to be a game changer. Because it gets people results. And it's a game changer. So my Wi-Fi, I think, is about to cut out. I don't know what's going on. But we got everything done. Hopefully, Chris, hopefully that was valuable. Again, thanks, Chris and Cody, for having us on. And I never really got to formally thank you guys for speaking at leadership many, many years ago. That really motivated my wife and I to make it happen and do it. And so, huge honor to be on this call with you guys. Hopefully, take action with Obsession. Like I said, it's literally like the iPhone's launching. Either you're going to have a store that's selling it, or you're going to watch everyone else have a store to sell it. It's totally up to you. Forget the past. The past is gone. Focus on the future. Doesn't matter if you failed 1,000 times yesterday. All that matters is what you do today, what you do tomorrow, because every single one of you could just crush it over the next 5, 6, 7 days and have an incredible launch at Success Club on day one. Most won't, and it's not because of anything other than inaction. And I wanted to be real with you on that, and I hope you take action. I love you guys. Live with passion. And as I end all my calls, dream the extreme, okay? Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.